Thank you all. So, before I start anything, since this is there, I just want to disclaim that whatever I'm telling, whatever I'm sharing, it's part of what I feel. It's my personal thing. It's nothing related to any company or my. This is since it's a conflict of interest. I'm just disclaiming because it's not a part of any AstraZeneca people telling I'm not representing AstraZeneca. I work for AstraZeneca, but I am representing myself today. So and before I start, I just have a small video because I see so many of you are distracted. So I just want to pull you back here. So I have a short video if you guys can.
From the beginning, science has been at the front and center of everything we do, taking us to places we never thought possible. This is the invention of what science can do. Science can change the way we see the world,
I have
change
cough,
how we
so
live our lives, make us pioneers. Science can impel us to take risks, share and collaborate. Harness data, technology, and AI to accelerate change, bring people together to achieve the impossible, fast forward the future. Science can create novel therapies and vaccines, help people with chronic diseases live better, healthier lives. Redefine cancer care, pioneer treatments for rare diseases, prevent, modify, and one day, give a cure. Make patients partners in their own treatment. Science can inspire us to do incredible things. Give more and more of us access to healthcare. Transform the lives of millions of people. And unite us all around a single aim and improving lives and life chances. Science can do all of this ethically and sustainably. Leading the way to a low carbon world. Making healthcare systems more sustainable and resilient, being bold and ambitious to make people, societies, and the planet healthier. This is the limitless adventure of what science can do.
okay, nice, inspiring. Yes, if this video doesn't inspire you, I don't know what will. This is the example of what we can do, what potential you and me have. Because of science, we all are living. Because of science, we all have our jobs. Because of science, we are here today. Because of science, we have this conference. So this is a very inspiring video. I thought I'll just share this with you. And before I actually start deep into this thing topic and all, I just want to know, I believe that most of you are 5th years and 6th years PharmDs. So anybody else? So just raise your hands. How many of you know what exactly you want to do after PharmD? How, if you know? Anybody? You can be open. I was a student too. I didn't have any idea. I'm telling you, you know what you want to do. Very good. That's actually very good, and you're on the right track. So, do you want to tell? You want to tell what you want to do?
I want to get a job in medical science.
Very good. Very good. So, that's very good. Others who have no idea what you want to do, but you still want to achieve something. Anybody like that? You don't know what you want to exactly do, but you want to achieve something, and you need some guidance and some support so that you understand what is actually happening outside your classrooms. So anybody like that? Most of you? 1, 2. Others? I don't know the other category. So, others? Sorry? You have to speak up. I will not leave you all. You have to speak up. Speak up is the first culture you learn it wherever you go. You have to speak for yourself. Nobody will come and do your when you give an interview. You're 6 years. You're giving your interview in maybe very time soon. If you don't speak for yourself, if you don't come speak up, then the first thing they see, forget about your marks, forget about anything. The first thing is how you interact, how you speak up. So this is one nice opportunity. Everybody is your friends. So speak up. It's the first thing to impress people. You have to speak up. It's just so okay. I believe that this session will be helpful for you all in at least knowing what is actually happening in the industry or what are the opportunities you have after you do PharmD. So I'll quickly go through since it's an evolving landscape in clinical trials. So I work for AstraZeneca as a clinical research associate. I will be in future telling you what is the role of a clinical research associate. Not just that, what I do, I will definitely share my experience. Other than this, I'll just tell you what other roles do you have, what other industry, what other job opportunities do you have. So I'll touch base on that, and I'll also tell you what all skills do you need to get into so and so work. So since it is an evolving landscape of clinical trials, I'll be talking about the past, I'll be talking about the present, what is happening. I'll touch base on the future also. So this is what I have planned. And also for you guys not to be like bored or anything, first half I'll just put some knowledge, I'll give you some knowledge regarding this. Second half, it's for you, your session, how I don't know how much you will utilize. I'll talk about the careers and skills required. So if I think it sounds good, so we are good to start. Before I start, clinical trials. So when I did my PharmD, I was into clinical. After PharmD, I had no idea. I was a COVID batch, so I had no idea. You won't believe me. After sixth year, I was not confident at all. Like if I see a drug chart, I wouldn't recognize the brand names and all. I was so ashamed of myself. But I had something that I have to do something. I cannot sit like this. So I think most of you would be in that stage. Maybe you guys would be better, but that time back then I'm open. I didn't have any idea about what I would do. Then I was like, at the time of COVID, I had no exposure to hospitals and I was very underconfident. My relatives called me and I'm taking this drug. I didn't know what to tell. And after 6 years, right? So that is something that triggered me. Like I wanted to do something. Look, okay. And oncology was my thing. I don't know, from second year, third year, I was little passionate about oncology, the field, this thing. Why? Because nothing particular instance or anything. I thought oncology was the growing field. We have everything, like oncology is ever growing because of mutations, gene mutations. Oncology is our future, is what I see. Some bizarre thoughts. There's no proper. See, nobody is perfect. I was just like students like you. I just had this thought. So then I joined Navya. It was COVID, so I just worked from home 3 months. Then I applied residencies in Tata Memorial and JSS, and fortunately I cracked residency. And I must tell, residency in oncology, JSS turned flip coins. So I was under a medical oncologist. I was a clinical person. I was very passionate on clinical this thing. I was under a medical oncologist. Initially, nothing. I couldn't understand anything. I couldn't cope up with, even after joining residency, I couldn't cope up with PharmDs because JSS has very good infrastructure, very good exposure. Initially, started learning, start studying, giving some dedication. Then at the end of 2 years, I was really happy. And even after residency, almost there, I didn't know what clinical research is. Why I told you this story was I didn't know what to do after residency. I wanted to do residency, I did residency. I didn't know what to do. Then my sir was also a principal investigator in some trial. So his CRA had come for to meet him, and his CRA told there is an opening in the company. So if you have any potential candidates, you just go. So my sir knew what I was there, and so he just recommended. So you just go give interview. And so then I had 8 rounds of interview, 8 rounds. So one clean that day, my interview was that first day was my viva. Viva usually conducted by medical oncologists and HOD. So they conducted my viva for 1.5 hours. As soon as they finished my viva, final exam viva, I had a call. So that call from the company that was 1.5 hours. That day was life changing for me. So after 8 rounds of interview, then now here I am after 1.5 years of experience as a clinical research associate in a company. So I'll just go through now. I'll take you from the past, present, and the future. What is clinical research? So you first clinical research was sorry. Okay, thank you. Okay, I'll do that. So in 1753, James Lind, I think you would have read it in your books. James Lind was the first person to first ever to start clinical trials, who proved citrus fruits can cure scurvy. So he did from the different acidic substances and everything. Then he proved after 6 days, lemons and oranges can cure scurvy. This was the first ever clinical trials. So I'll no point. Okay, this is the disclaimer. So introduction to clinical trials, and I'll be dealing with the regulatory framework and recent updates, and then I'll talk about careers and skills in clinical trials. So when I talk about clinical research, so clinical research plays a very crucial role in advanced medical knowledge and improving patient care. So slide, all this slide talks about the video. Why? What is research? Why? So we have Dolo for the what fever. So why do we need? Why do we need other? Why do we need ibuprofen? We already had analgesic. Why are we doing so many other things? So this slide only talks about why research is important. So 1 second. Okay. Over the years, there have been very significant changes in the regulations. So I'll be talking in brief about the changes in the regulatory aspects also. So they prompt ethical conduct, scientific integrity, and generation of reliable and valid data. The regulations also facilitate the development and approval of new therapies and drug and medical devices. So this is the importance of importance. So 1 second. So these are the phases of clinical trials. Everybody will be knowing phase 0, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Right now, I handle phase 2B and phase 3 trials in my company. I deal with these 2 trials. So I have one trial with efficacy data and one I deal with phase 3 trials as well. So when we talk about history, so what led to so many regulations? So you do this mostly clinical research, whatever the regulations have come now is like a trial and error method. So whatever the mistakes that has happened in the past, so that has led to new regulations, newer this thing. So that is what history talks about. So what has happened? Everybody know this. You would have definitely studied the Nuremberg Code. So some responses and unethical experiments conducted during the World War II emphasized on consenting. Voluntary consent is required because that time there was no voluntary consenting happened, and that led to this was a disaster. So also avoid unnecessary harm and importance of scientific justification. So that was one this thing, and one other one was Declaration of Helsinki. This established ethical principles of medical research involving human subjects, and it focused on the need of informed consent and risk-benefit assessment, consideration of vulnerable populations. The other one everybody would know is the thalidomide. Thalidomide tragedy caused severe birth defects. So this is one. See, this is just one very good example that if there were stricter regulations or for stricter drug approvals, or any proper safety testing, we could have avoided this. So this is what led to these things. So these are the historical perspectives. So then later, it's a step. Next, it came. There was good clinical practices. It was introduced by ICH. It provide unified set of international standard for design, conducting, and reporting of clinical trials. So whatever we do practically in industry, everything, not just in India, in entire world, they follow ICH GCP guidelines. GCP is our Bible. So whenever you go, if you want to go and start your career in the industry, they give you GCP and they ask you to treat it as your Bible. So, and whenever I'll talk about it later. So lessons learned, so as I was telling, lessons learned from the past continue to influence the regulations and guidelines, participant rights, promoting scientific integrity and ensuring the patient safety. So there are three main things. Whatever we are talking about right now is in the field of clinical trial is one is data privacy, data integrity. One, data integrity is very important to us, and patient safety. And other one is ethics. Ethics is very important. Data integrity is also very, very important. And patient safety is, of course, it is one among the top. So whatever we talk will be around these three things only today. Data. Can somebody repeat what are the three important things? What are the three important things? Can anybody repeat? I just did. Ethics, data integrity, patient safety. So this you have to. I don't want any distractions. I want you to. If it is boring, you tell it to me. It is boring, you to talk something else. I will. But I don't want any kind of distractions. Okay. Okay, we'll see. So moving forward, it is important for us to understand the historical perspective to appreciate the progress made of ongoing efforts and improve the ethical conduct of clinical research. Clinical research is still growing. So whatever the rules and regulations we have today, it is still not the perfect one. It's not the final one. It is still growing. So when I joined my company, there were some regulations, some standard operating procedures. Now again there is a addendum to it, so it's a revised thing. So whatever, and we have quality sessions, we have lessons learned, so it is still growing. The science and learning should never ever stop. So we'll go. So now this was the history part, and the current part I'll go quickly walk you through, because so I want to give time for your career and skills. That session is what I want to focus on. So I'll just go through the regulatory framework. So because of all these things, right now, what are the current regulatory framework is what I'm going to tell you. So current regulatory framework for clinical research, and same thing, ensures conduct, safety and validity of clinical trials. Conducting, safety, validity again comes to my first three: data integrity, patient safety and ethics. Correct. So we have key regulatory bodies. We have FDA, we have European medical agencies, we have ICH GCP guidelines, and we have, addition to this, we have CDSCO, we have NDCT rules. So in India, we always follow the stricter guidelines. So if given a choice to me between ICH GCP, when you go, I think some of you would have at least gone through it, what ICH GCP is. Yesterday, I think we had a session on ICH GCP. Yes. So ICH GCP, you compare that with NDCT. In India, we always follow the stricter guidelines. So especially when we talk about informed consent of subjects and all, in India only we do this AV recording. So when doing the informed consent, AV recording is a must in India, because that is not based on ICH GCP, that is based on NDCT. So whatever it is, especially when it comes to compensation. So I talk on behalf of a sponsor. So when we talk about compensation, The ICGCP, compared to ICGCP, we follow whatever rule NDCT has, because it has the stricter rules. So, okay. Current regulatory framework emphasizes the following aspect: ethical conduct, patient safety, data integrity. Same thing. This is the base of everything. So, recent update in clinical research, we'll just go through this. Increased emphasis on patient centricity. Regulating now, patient centricity is definitely yes. Before, based on those disasters which has happened, now we put the patient first. Patients are the utmost important. So even when I go on a monitoring or anything, unless there will be mistakes, you, me, or anybody. But if it is not affecting the patient safety, the other things are workable. So that is the emphasis on patient centricity. And regulations now highlight the importance of patient engagement, informed consent, and patient reported outcomes. I will talk about patient reported outcomes and other informed consents when I talk about my role later in detail. I'll just walk you through this right now. So, patients are actively involved in the research process from study design, um, the results, ensuring the perspectives are considered. And now we have real world evidence. This is use of real world refers to the data collected outside the traditional clinical trials, such as electronic health records and patient registries. So one thing, while we go through this, one I just want you guys to think is, I think Manasa would agree, the clinical practice, what the doctors actually practice, and the requirement of clinical trials is not, it is same, but the clinical trials needs some more some extra things. So usually the whatever they do in the clinical practice, and maybe Mansa would know the resist assessments, or how you assess a tumor when in cancer trials. Usually a clinician would assess in a particular way how it is a progressive disease or anything. But in clinical trials we need more depth. We go more depth. So that is why the role of coordinator and clinical research unit in the hospital, as well as my role as a clinical research associate, is very, very crucial, because we are filling the gap. We are here to fill the gap, what is the clinical practice and what actually clinical trial requires. Okay, so use of real world, this I will be again talking about it. So this is one big thing. This is one recent thing. I think it's there. This is adaptation of risk-based monitoring. RBM focuses on monitoring efforts on high-risk aspects, improving the efficacy and reducing the costs. It's allow for more targeted oversight and ensure data integrity while minimizing the unnecessary burdens. So this is one of the very recent updates which we follow, especially many of the sponsors follow RBQM, risk-based. So why risk-based monitoring? I'll tell you. See, so I may say I do some X trials. I am a clinical research associate, or I belong to one X sponsor. So my patient, I have to deliver some 40 patients in 3 months. I approach someone like Mansa, she gives me 40 patients, and I get to, she has done everything, her work. This our hospital has done everything. They give 40 patients, this distributed, but the data which is generated, it's so much huge that it's not possible for us. So if you want to verify each and every line, each and every vitals, you want to verify, if you want to verify it with source, it's a lot of time, effort and energy, and it's not, sometimes it's not practically possible. That is when we have that is where we adopted risk-based monitoring. So there are certain aspects which we do a calculated risks. So based on some calculated risk, we do a targeted thing. So usually we calculate the risk of a site, for example. So, or we do whatever the data integrity, how much initially we do a risk assessment, and then based on that risk assessment we determine how frequently we have to monitor, or that thing is done. So, allow target and data integrity, implementation of data protection and privacy measures. So that is one. Within the increase in digitalization and use of electronic health records, regulation is now emphasized on protecting patient privacy and data security. So whenever we do a, whenever I think again Mansa and we are two different, same coins of two sides. So she belongs to the hospital, I belong to the other side of the coin. So we go hand in hand. So when I talk about this thing, initially when you go to hospitals, right? So all of you go to hospitals. So what do you do? 5th years or 6th years, what do you do usually? How is your hospital setup? Can anybody speak up? Just get up. It's your what you do. You just tell me. Just speak up. No. So okay. Initially there were paper records. Paper records were there. Now again the recent updates is most of the patient's prescription is electronic based. So patient electronic records make the data integrity stronger, right? So you have an audit trail. So we do something called audit trail. Audit trail is you go back, you can trace it. When was this typed? Who typed it? We do an electronic signature. So once the data is generated, you cannot go redo it, or you cannot go back and strike it off, or nothing can be done. So that ensures the data integrity more. Then if I write a prescription and then you rewrite it, based on that was paper. So now it is recently they've done this electronic health records. So one streamlining of regulatory process. This again, like FDA's real-time oncology review and harmonization of international standards. So this is again. So there's different organizations. They collaborate between regulatory authorities such as FDA, EMR, aims to streamline the process. So whatever it talks, it should be all streamlined is what is required. So ethical implications and participants' rights. So informed consent process, equitable access and diversity, and transparency and accountability is what are the main ethical implications and participants' rights. These are the rights. If a patient comes to a doctor and tell I don't want to continue in this trial, nobody can question, nobody has to convince also. Patient is allowed to come back, withdraw the consent. If the patient is asking what is that, they will be informed about what is it. So if they have to be, that is why the necessary of informed consent process in AV recording. Patients should know that they are going to participate in this trial. Patients should know that the risks as well as the benefits, not just the benefits. When you usually tend to tell anything, we usually concentrate less on the risks and more on the benefits. But the main purpose of AV recording is that you have to tell the risks as well as the benefits. Transparency and accountability also. So this implication of changes, what are the implications? Which is enhanced patient safety and improved data integrity and quality, the same thing, and increased compliance and administrative burdens. This Mansa spoke about it. And then impact on study design and conduct. This had a very huge impact on the study design and conduct of a clinical trial. And expanded global research and collaborations. Since after we have adapted to all these things, we have many more trials. Ethical and patient-centric research and opportunities for innovation and advancements. Okay, so now we'll talk about career and skills in clinical trials. And who wants to continue their career in India, or who wants to go abroad? Any idea? Who wants to go abroad? Who has plans of going abroad? Any plans of going abroad? Yes, very good. So it's good that you have some plans. Good. So now most important thing is your careers and skills. What do you want to do? See, we talk about clinical research, we talk about clinical pharmacists, we talk about hospital. but everything depends on what you want to do, what is your interest. We have everything. You might think, okay, there is family, there is no scope or nothing like that. You have very good faculties. We are even pharmacognosy, whatever the syllabus you have, everything will be implemented in your whatever I do, especially pharmacognosy. I'm reviewing a medical record. I have patient is taken Ayurvedic medicine. I don't know what it is. So if I would have read pharmacognosy, I would have known what it is. If the patient, at least if it is a steroid or what it is. So each and everything, and posology or whatever you study here, that based on this only, based on pure family, you don't have to do any extra courses, you don't have to do some extra things. You read your syllabus properly, and not just read, you understand and read. It's not, marks doesn't matter. Nobody will ask how much marks you got or anything. They will just see how much you have understood, and that understanding you have to implement in the real world, because our field is like that. Our field, we are capable of contributing so much to the society. Anybody watches House MD here? There's one famous scene here. If we say famous scene there, the doctor asks that asthma inhaler. Do you know that? So if you can correlate, so how that could have been reduced by just intervention of one person. So if, for the people who don't know, a doctor asks patients, are you taking, a patient comes to the doctor and asks, my asthma is not reducing only. So the doctor asks, are you taking your medicines? The patient tells, yes, I'm taking the medicines regularly. You have told me to take 3 times, I've taken 3 times. And then doctor asks, how are you taking your inhaler? So the patient takes the inhaler and puffs it like this. So that is one joke. But see, just imagine one small thing, an intervention of a clinical pharmacist. Because our area of expertise is the drug and the patient counseling. You would have written SOPs, SOAP analysis and patient counseling. So just imagine if the patient would have prescribed asthma medicine, you come out, you tell the patient how to take, you just counsel the patient on how to use an inhaler, we would have reduced this medication error, right? So this is how important your role in this medical chain. So career opportunities in clinical trial, we have clinical research roles, we have industries and academic pathway, and this will impact on healthcare also. So now today's topic is clinical research. We will concentrate on clinical research, but again I'm telling you, it is what you want to do. It is not, you don't have to choose just because I choose clinical research, or just because somebody is conducting a seminar on clinical research, you don't have to choose to become a clinical research person, but it is what you want to do. So, but I will definitely tell on certain job opportunities and their role, what they actually do in the industry, so that it will be helpful for you to understand what and streamline on what you want to do. For the people who want to go abroad, I'm not discouraging, but I just want to tell you the future of India. India is one among the top 10 countries who are doing clinical trials. They have now, right now, India is a priority market for many trials. I think Mansa told why we choose, because of the diverse population and the medical system what we follow. Here the doctors are their knowledge, you cannot match anybody else's. My friends who have done family, they go abroad, do some clinical research, they come back and join here, because India is one of the top priority markets right now, and the future is so bright. We have pipelines. I will show you what kind of researches the pipelines show, and based on that, I can assure you that all of you, when I saw so many people, I was so super happy that okay, we can actually form a company, you can form a CRO, you can do so many things with so many resources here. So that is one thing. Clinical trials will be there. You will have number of clinical trials. When I joined the company, compared to now, we already have so many things. So my job is super hectic now, because new studies are coming up, new indications, so new cancers, new trials, everything. So See, I just wanted to show you this. India is one of the among the top priorities. So now what therapeutic area we work on is oncology, cancer. Why oncology? Cancer remains a leading cause of death globally and driving continuous research for novel therapies. We do some immunology trials, neurology trials, cardiovascular risks are higher. So infectious disease. These. So when I tell this, you have opportunity for the specialization. You can be an oncology specialist, you can do your setup and immunology specialist, or you can do something in the neurology course, and you can do a cardiovascular. I think residency is open in JSS for infectious disease, nephrology, and other things as well. So this is where your role is. You identify where your role is required, you specialize in that, and then you build a pathway for yourself. So now in clinical research, what I see in my what is clinical research coordinator is more of Mansa already covered what a clinical research coordinator does in detail, in depth. So I will not go on that. Clinical research associate is from the sponsor end. A monitor in clinical trials ensures compliance with the protocol, regulations, good clinical practice, responsible for site management, data review, communication with study and stakeholders. So, a role of clinical research associate I will explain in detail. Next comes the project manager. A monitor is a face of a sponsor. They go to the hospitals, they interact, they see the data integrity, they review the data, they analyze the data integrity, patient safety, and ethics is what is our role of monitor is. So monitor will be headed by a project manager, clinical trial manager who oversees the clinical trial operations. So you say when a project comes to India, a project is assigned to a project manager. Project manager has to choose sites. So say they choose 10 sites. 10 sites as in 10 hospitals. Under a project manager, to manage those 10 hospitals, you have 2 clinical research associates. And to support clinical research associates and the project manager, there is a new role called clinical study administrator also. So mostly a clinical research associate job is to travel a lot because you have to go to the site, you have to verify the source, you have to see everything. So some people, if they are not interested to travel or something, they can definitely try for a clinical study administrator role. Administrator role will support with the documentation, ETMF filing, which Mansa told. So we have basically 2 records for your, one is patient file and one is our regulatory, whatever the documents we generate, regulatory approvals, whatever the laboratory accreditations and everything, the delegation log, whatever other than the patient file, whatever trial needs for this thing. So that is maintained in the trial master file in the sponsor hospital end. They maintain a ISF, and in the sponsor end we maintain a trial master file. So that job is also very, very crucial. Clinical study administrator is also very crucial role. And clinical data manager. So you don't want this clinical setup, you can always go for a data manager. Data manager, so whatever the data is generated, as Mansa told, you enter those data. You have a source, data is generated, you enter it into a system, right? Say any metadata access array, this system. So that the clinical data manager manages the clinical trial data from in the back end. So they do a collection to analysis and reporting, design the data management plans, perform data cleaning and data validation. So the role of a clinical data manager. So I am a sponsor. I have a protocol. My protocol requests in cycle 1 I have to do. I need vitals. I need so many data. So what clinical data manager helps me as a sponsor is they understand the protocol. They do they create a sheet on cycle 1. They create a vital sheet. They validate it. Is it normal range, whatever it is. So that way they help is the role of clinical data managers. Then biostatistician help in design clinical trial protocols and statistical analysis plan. Biostatistician role you will definitely know because 5th years and 6th years you would have done projects and you would have used by some biostatisticians. Then regulatory affairs specialists. So these people, what they do, ensure compliance with regulatory requirement and prepare regulatory submission for clinical trial. Interact with regulatory agencies to obtain approval and maintain compliance. So regulatory affairs is one again an emerging field where you can definitely do. So whenever I'll tell you a end-to-end process now. A trial comes to India. So what we do, we prepare that first. Whenever the trial comes, we, as Mansa told, we send feasibility. We assess. Okay, we select so many sites. Okay, I can see some 20 sites which is potential. Based on the response from the hospital, based on the response from the PI, we select the sites. Meanwhile, we do submissions to regulatory submissions, and we do regulatory ethics committee submissions to individual sites. So in the ethics committee will give approval and we apply to regulatory approval. Regulatory will have, we have a SEC meetings. We so many SEC meetings will be there. Their DCGI will participate. So many doctors will be there, and they really they don't approve it that easily. So they have queries. We have to answer to those queries. Once the regulatory approval and we have ethics committee approval, then we go for site initiation. Site initiation is what we do. We go train the sites. We delegate people, our delegated people to this particular study. We collect data privacy. We collect good clinical practice, because anybody to participate in the trial, you would know they should be qualified, experienced, and trained. So qualification, we collect GCP, experience, and training we give them. Based on their experience, we train them, and we do a robust site initiation visits, and then they will be good to recruit. And so these processes are the startup processes. That and these submissions, whatever the submissions we do from so many things, that will be of a regulatory affairs. It's not just initial submissions. There is a doctor change. We have to take regulatory approval for that. So many approvals. So basically, they manage, ensure compliance with what regulatory requirements are. So they interact with regulatory agencies to obtain approval and maintain compliance throughout the trial process. The other thing, one important thing is clinical quality assurance and compliance specialist. So we are doing so many things. Monitor is monitoring, doing so many things. So what we have to, the most important is quality. Whatever the data which is generated, is it of the good quality data? Is the responsible of clinical quality associates. So other than the routine monitoring, a quality person will come, they validate, they just do a validate, and then they just check if everything is on process. Their target will be patient safety, data integrity, and if it is ethical. So that is the role of clinical quality director. Okay. So they do internal audits. Quality directors, we have quality audits externally also, internally also. And clinical research nurse or nurse coordinator, again that Mansa already covered. Clinical pharmacologist, we had a very good session by clinical pharmacologist herself. And medical writer. Medical writer prepares clinical trial documentation, including protocols, informed consent forms, clinical study reports, and regulatory submissions. Communicates scientific and medical information effectively to diverse audiences. So just by this, I already gave you 3 different roles. You can come into proper core clinical research, become a CRA or a CSA, that is clinical study administrator, or you can go to a data manager, or you can go to a regulatory affair or medical writing. So I hope you got some idea about what these do. All of them are required to conduct. They are part of end-to-end process. So clinical research associate, I have already covered most of the things. So study startup, what is the role of a clinical research associate? They do a study startup, assist in preparation of study protocol, inform consent forms, study documents, participation in, as I told you, site selection visit, feasibility assessment, coordinate with the investigator try to initiate the study, including training procedures and study requirements. This is what I just told about. We, after this approvals, you go, you initiate the site, you give training, and this is what study startup do. Site management and monitoring is one of the core things. So while, okay, you have started the study, you have initiated the site, patient is recruiting, you have lot of data generated, and from the sponsor end, it is the role of a clinical research associated is to go on a regular basis, monitor. So while monitoring, you review everything, each and everything. What we usually do is create an audit trail. So on 12th May 2023, there's something has happened. So how do I know? Patient has come. I see the data. First, patient has entered. I see the registration. I see what, okay, vitals has been taken. Then the patient has gone. I have lab reports, timings I see, date I see. I usually see the flow on what it is. So this helps me. I review the source. I verify it from the ECRF. So whatever is there in the source and whatever they have entered in the electronic case report form, ECRF, that is verified by a monitor. That is the core job of a site management. And regulatory compliance and ensure investigation of site maintenance, regulatory and data management. Data management, same thing. Safety monitoring, SAE reporting. Mansa has already covered safety reporting. So as a sponsor, it is my responsibility to again report it to regulatory as well as the ethics committee. And communication and collaboration. This is one main important thing. It is the individual. Communication and collaboration is your individual skill. How well you deal with your sites is your individual skill. This is a skill. This is not a role. I would put it into the skill. Quality assurance, of course. So skills required, regulatory knowledge is required, data management and analysis, how do you do it, and communication and collaboration. This is what you need to be a professional in clinical trials. These are the three main things. So with this, ethics is whatever. Ethics is at most. Tomorrow somebody comes and asks you to do right this thing. You should be ethical. Today I have represented I have maintained ethics. I have not disclosed any information of my company, my trials, what the drug is, because I follow ethics. So that is a conflict of interest. So ethics is one of the most important considerations. Professional integrity should be there. Continuous learning and adaptation. Yes, science, learning should be there. When the learning stops, your career growth stops. So what are the challenges? I will finish with this. This is my last slide, I hope. So I told all the positive aspects. There are some scope of improvement. Right now, what are the challenges global pharma companies are facing? There is complexity of regulations. So many documents you have to collect, so many countries, time consuming. So when we have the protocol, we have all those things. But to start a trial, it is almost taking 6 to 8 months. So if you reduce that, you can give more patients, you can contribute more to the society. So that is one challenges. Complex regulatory requirement is one of the challenges which we are facing right now. Then ethical consideration, data integrity and transparency. Ethical consideration, some ensuring patient safety and informed consent. And adherence to ethical guidelines is paramount throughout the clinical trial. Regulatory bodies closely scrutinize these aspects to protect participants' right, safety, and well-being. So, data integrity and transparency, maintaining data quality and transparency throughout the trial process is very crucial. Regulatory agencies are emphasizing the data integrity, requiring comprehensive data management plans and reporting. Clinical trial approval timelines. This is what it is taking a longer time than we expect. So this is where we have a scope of improving. So this lesson, any changes in these things will be a lesson learned Will next time maybe when you come here and present after 2-3 years, you'll have a new regulations. You tell that back then I had when we were there, these were the challenges. Now it has improved to this. So this is what it is. So top sponsors, see, you don't have to go anywhere. We have top sponsors. Like, apart from AstraZeneca, of course, we have so many sponsors here and so many job opportunities. All of them have very good pipelines. They have very good drugs coming up. You see, so many job opportunities. These are the top sponsors. Then CROs, not just sponsors. We have so many CROs which has annual revenue. This was collected from internet. So when in India only we have so many companies, so many sponsors, they are offering, they have openings to give the job. So I don't see any, I don't see any reason for us to go there abroad and this thing. So to conclude, I just tell you the career growth and opportunities, professional development, and impact on health ecosystem these are the future perspectives. So lastly, I just want to tell your job is very important because if a bad drugs comes into the market, it is again bad. If a good drug does not come into the market, it is again lost to the society. So the whatever the role you do, whatever the job you do today, especially pharmacists, especially for people from the medical background, those who are aspire to come into clinical research, your job is very, very crucial to bring a future. Your future will be bright if you do your job today better. I think I am done with this. So if you have any questions, you are free to ask. Then, huh?
Speaking, hi,
Oh.
myself Muralidhar, and I have a question that what are the key points to attract the CRO sponsors to conduct their clinical trials in our CRU, that's clinical research unit?
That key role to attract is one is we see how involved, how good your team is. So when if I am a sponsor company, I want to come and see, I do a qualification. I see if you are you have proper facilities to conduct the trial, how involved your team is, and how involved your PI is, and we give a robust feasibility is what we require. So if you have a good this thing, if you have interest in doing a proper clinical trial, ethical way, and if I feel the data integrity is good, then nobody can stop you from getting
Like
trials.
actually, how we can reach out to the sponsors or CRO?
You have to reach out to sponsor or CRO.
Conduct
Conduct-
trials in our CRO.
So that I will get back to you because reaching usually it comes from the higher level. The site selection and everything comes from the higher level. For this, I will refer back, and if there is any proper channel, I will get back to you on this.
Okay.
Right?
Thank you, ma'am, for the informative session. I request the speaker to kindly come forward to accept our token of appreciation. I request a dear principal, Dr. H. M. Vishwanathan Swami sir, and Dr. Sanat sir, and all the HODs to come over the dais to bestow the honor.
Thank you.
Coming together is a winning. Coming together is a growth. Working together is a success. By this, I take a moment to thank all the sponsors. Your support and partnership played a key role in success of our event, and we appreciate your participation. Special appreciation to Santosh Gowda sir, Senior Executive Marketing, NCT Cancer Hospital, Hubli. I request you to come over the dais, sir. National Rana Jain, Managing Director, Bridgefield, India. I request you to come over the dais, ma'am. VHIP, Senior Area Sales Manager, ABA Naturals Private Limited. I request you to come over the dais. Nagarappa sir, Chief Account Officer, Hubli Scan Center. Hubli Scan Center. I request you to come over the dais, sir. I request our dear principal, Dr. A.H.M. Vishwanatha Swami, sir, and all the HODs to come over the dais for the felicitation. Thank you, sir. Your partnership has enabled us to gather here and exchange ideas. Thank you once again for your unwavering support. I thank all the sponsors once again.
And I would also like to address the sponsors in their absence. My Pharmarex Infomart India Private Limited, New Delhi, Rhino International Designing and Implementation, Navi Mumbai, Micromedics, Ahuja Book Company Private Limited, Rajendra Traders, Venkatesh Enterprises. Thank you all for your contributions.
The world is run by those who's willing to sit until the last. By this, I call everyone for the panel discussion. I request our respected Dr. Shivkumar Hokar sir, Dr. Prakash sir, our principal, Dr. A.H.M. Vishwanatha Swami sir, Dr. Manasa ma'am, Dr. Charushila ma'am, Dr. Radhika ma'am, Dr. J.D. sir to come over the dais for the panel discussion. I request Dr. Jaidev sir to come over the dais for the panel discussion.
I request Abhishek sir
To come over the dais.
Good afternoon, everyone. On this occasion, I am privileged to carry out the panel discussion. I hope you all have enjoyed the sessions and have gained insights. Now, we'll start the panel discussion. But before that, let us introduce our panelists. Dr. Radhika Mayur Sherkhane, Department of Pharmacology, SDM College of Medical Sciences and Hospital, Dharwad. Dr. B.R. Jaydev Kumar, Department of Pharmacy Practice, JSS College of Pharmacy, Mysore. Dr. Manasa C., Head, Department of Pharmacology, Sri Shankara Cancer Hospital and Research Center, Bangalore. Dr. Charu Sheila, Clinical Research Associate, AstraZeneca, Bangalore. Dr. Prakash, Principal and Head, Akshaya Institute of Pharmacy, Tumkur. Dr. Shivkumar Hugar, Professor and Head, Department of Pharmacology, BLD, SSM College of Pharmacy, Vijayapura. Dr. A.H.M. Vishwanath Swami Sir, Professor and Principal, Kelly College of Pharmacy, Hubballi. Dr. Sanat Kumar B. Namagad, HOD, Department of Pharmacy, Kelly College of Pharmacy, Hubballi. With this brief introduction of our panelists, I would like to start the panel discussion by handing over the stage to the panelists. So, the delegates, if you have any queries regarding any session, you can ask them and you can get it clarified.
Myself, Krishnan Phambi, so my question is to Jaidev sir. So how are Phambi graduates, how we can effectively bridge a link with the sponsors or investigators for effective clinical plan?
Excuse me, can you repeat it once again, please?
How Phambi graduates can effectively collaborate or link
Yeah.
with sponsors and investigators for the effective clinical plan?
Okay, so this is on basically when it comes to the placement of a family graduate to be a part of the clinical research organization. It is left to the discretion of the placement of the respective clinical research organization. They are going to interview family graduates how far you have gained in knowledge in terms of the clinical research. The basic objective of a family graduate is just we want to find out which are the different clinical research sites that is located in and around the respective regions. Okay, so you have been given an opportunity to find out whether they have enough resources to carry out the clinical trials or not. For that, you require the first and foremost element is communication skills. Okay, you really need to understand one thing is how you can convince the concerned research investigator. For that, you need to have a good communication skills, how you can really create an impact. Okay, because the sponsor, whenever a sponsor is going to appoint in any clinical research, the two important elements that just looking up is one is communication skill and how far you have a potentiality of convincing an XYZ person. This is a very important thing. So this is what I can tell you. And the promotion policies or what are the requirements that is required to become a clinical research. The clinical research associate depends upon the individual, the placement policies. That's all. Thank you.
Next.
Good afternoon. I'm Amit, fifth from this student. My question is to Charu Sheila. What are the potential career paths for family graduates in clinical research and drug development? And how can we pursue it?
Clinical research, as I already explained, so if you really like to be a clinical research associate, again, as I heard, you can go, if you like traveling, if you actually want to pursue it, if you have like traveling, you can go become a clinical research associate. If you don't want, if you want a little back-end support, you can be a clinical research administrator. After a clinical research associate, then you will, in future, you go become a project manager. You manage the project. If you want to go on a clinical project, you want to do a back-end, not for clinical research, you want to do a data manager can get data management. You can go into clinical data management, or you can go into regulatory affairs. You can go into regulatory affairs, being helping in regulatory submissions, easy submissions, regulatory affairs is one field that you can do. Other thing is medical writing. Design and the initial phase, where the design of protocol, informed consent forms is one career pathway where you can explore yourself in medical writing. All of them are equally as pros and cons, and they're equally good. Like the placement, the job, the money, and everything. Everything is more or less the good. And other one more thing is pharmacovigilance. The SAE reporting, the pharmacovigilance, safety reporting. So these are the few fields where you can explore.
Is there any fellowship programs or courses?
Fellowship programs, again, it depends on the openings and opportunities of that particular sponsor or CROs. That right now, that there's no proper, that again, it depends on that CROs or the sponsor. They're open to interns, you can definitely go through. To go through that, one would, instead of doing any other courses, I would recommend you is, if you have any research going on in your own hospital, 50 or 60 years, just get involved, go speak to the investigator, get yourself involved, understand, if not involved, just understand what happens, so that you will have hands-on experience. I can tell, everybody can tell what are the goals, but if you go, you see, just see what is happening, you involve in yourself, see, work as a CRC, part-time CRC, in your 6th year, then you have hands-on experience. That experience will help you get into or crack your interviews if you want to continue doing the clinical research.
Good afternoon, all. I my question is for Dr. Charan. Do you feel family guardian should be aware of using modern AI tools for better research functions?
That not at all. Family students should learn their. This is my personal view. Family students should first learn what they should focus on upgrading their skills, the knowledge, what a scientific knowledge, medical knowledge is what I believe. AI tools, it's just like WhatsApp. Nobody was born with smartphone. Any AI tools, it aids you. When you join the field, when you already join your start your career, these are the AI tools with small, study specific requirements or small requirements that will aid you. But what you have to concentrate is building your core knowledge more. So that definitely comes from books. Today also, my investigator had written a book on medical oncology. So when I met him, I bought that book. I still read medical oncology textbooks. So this is my belief. Instead of AI tools, that will come as a part of training, or if you join a company, that will definitely come to vendors and all. But do your core knowledge, concentrate on your knowledge. Everything else is the secondary add-ons. Is what I believe.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. I thank all the panelists and all the delegates, and I hope that you are all carrying abundant amount of knowledge from here by attending the conference. I thank everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Folks, the most awaited time is here. It is time to announce the winners of oral and poster presentation that took place yesterday. Dear participants, remember there is no winning or losing when it comes to learning. Each one of you won the very next moment you decided to come over here and display your research. We appreciate your confidence and hard work. With this, I request Santosh sir to announce the winners of oral and poster presentation.
Good afternoon, everybody. So it gives me immense pleasure to announce the winners list. And yesterday we conducted around 25 posters, and 25 posters were presented by different students from different colleges, and 21 oral deliberations were delivered. And I must say that all the presentations, this is not by me, by the evaluators. Evaluators said that almost all the presentations were worth the award. But however, they had to decide and they had to shortlist the best among all those presentations. And the jury has decided that instead of giving 3 awards, they are giving 6 awards for all the posts. The rules for assessing the poster presentation were categorized based on the objective poster presentation design, communication and response to the questions. Similarly, for oral presentation, the evaluation criteria were novelty of the presentation, objectives, presentation, and response to the questions. The evaluators for the poster presentation were Dr. H.N. Natraj sir from TVM College of Pharmacy, Bellary, Dr. V.P. Patil sir from BLDA College of Pharmacy, Vijayapura, Dr. Nanjapai H.M. sir from BLDA College of Pharmacy, Vijayapura, and Dr. Praveen D.M. Sir is from Industry, Value Lab Technologies, Hyderabad. And for the evaluators for the oral presentations were Dr. Shahista Umar ma'am, Principal, PMEA Society and MMJG College of Pharmacy, Haveri. Dr. Charan C.S. sir, Associate Professor, Shada Vilas College of Pharmacy, Mysore. Dr. Mallappa Shalvari sir, Associate Professor and HOD, Department of Pharmacology, HSK College of Pharmacy, Bagalkot. And Dr. Shashikala Vari ma'am, Associate Professor, Department of Pharmacy Practice, Daily College of Pharmacy, Belgaum. So, without further ado, I request our Bureau Principal sir and the Chairperson, Dr. Shubhamar sir, please come forward to give the awards for the. So, to begin with, the first awards will be for poster presentation. So, the third prize is shared between 2. That is poster presentation code 169, Mr. Somnath S. Janwadi. So the third prize is shared with Mr. Mahesh Avati, BLD College of Pharmacy, Vijayapura. Second prize is backed by code number 151, Mr. Pawan R. Katti, BLD College of Pharmacy. The second prize is shared with poster presentation code 166, Mr. Amit M.N., Shada Vilas College of Pharmacy, Mysore. first prize is backed by Miss Padmaja Anikundi, Kelly College of Pharmacy. Shared with poster presentation code 163, Miss S. Navya, Kelly College of Pharmacy. Moving on to the oral presentation. Third prize is backed by 056 Suhana R. Nawab, Kelly College of Pharmacy. It is shared with code number 051, Shamita Sen. Second prize, code number 054, is Nagratna S. Mogir, Sridevi College of Pharmacy, Bangalore. It is shared with 058, Mega Hegde, Sridevi College of Pharmacy. And for the first prize, there was a tough competition, and hence it has been divided into two, and two people who have bagged the first prize. 063, Mohini M. Mirajkar, HSK Sangha, College of Pharmacy. Congratulations. It is shared with 068, Dr. Supriya Noel Tony, JJMMC Medical College. The whole panel was very happy with the presentations, both poster as well as oral presentation. Those who have presented the oral presentation, poster presentation, consider yourself as all award winners because it was very difficult task for them, and we had to shortlist. So with this, we come to the end of the awards distribution ceremony. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Congratulations to all the winners. Your participation has been a valuable contribution to our event. I encourage everyone to take inspiration and get motivated to put your display and discuss your research in the future.
Let us move on to the next segment of our event. I request one volunteer from the respective colleges to come over the dais and receive the certificate of participation. JSM College of Pharmacy, Chitradurga. Please come over the dais and receive the certificate of participation. HKE College of Pharmacy, Kalburgi. Please come over the dais. I request our dear principal and Shivkumar Hokar sir to hand over the participation certificate. Veda Clinical Research Limited, Ahmedabad. I request you to come over the dais. SDM College of Medical, Dharwad. Radon Cancer Center, Hooghly. I request you to come over the dais. Sharon Basava College of Pharmacy, Kalburgi. Please come over the dais.
HSK College of Pharmacy, Bagalpur. BLDEA SSM College of Pharmacy and Research Center, Bijapur. Sharda Vilas College of Pharmacy, Mysore. Rajiv Memorial Education Society of Pharmacy, Kalburgi. Srinivas College of Pharmacy, Mangalore. BLDEA SSM College of Pharmacy and Research Center, Bijapur. AGMR College of Pharmacy, Karur. KLE College of Pharmacy, Bengaluru. Kahe JGMM Medical College, Hubli. Thank you, everyone.
Now I request 1 CR from the respective classes of KLE College of Pharmacy, Hooghly, to come over the dais and receive the certificate of participation. PharmD first year, PharmD second year, PharmD third year, PharmD fourth year, PharmD fifth year, PharmD sixth year, PharmD sixth year. I request the CR to come over the dais. MPharm second year, BPharm fourth year, and the special award of Best Student Coordinator for this conference goes to Saurav Raja, PharmD sixth year. Thank you, everyone.
I request volunteers from other institute as well as our institute to share their views and provide feedback about the 2 days annual conference. Kind attention everyone. The Google Form feedback link has been sent to the official group, WhatsApp group of today's event. Thank you for your valuable feedback. Please do fill the feedback form.
I request one volunteer from each college to provide us the feedback of this 2 days conference.
Good afternoon, everyone. Myself Lakshmi Hanchna from BLD SSM College of Pharmacy and Research Center, Vijaypur. First of all, I would like to thank KLE College of Hubballi, KLE College of Pharmacy, Hubballi, for organizing 2 days annual conference regarding clinical trials, designing and implementation. Such a fantastic conference. It was really helpful to our career. It was wonderful experience and it is very informative conference. It is a really helpful for us and really it is a very well organized conference. Thank you one and all once again. Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon. I am Dr. Akash, Pharmacy Intern, HSK Hospital, Bagalkot. And we are mostly confined to giving like clinical pharmacy services in hospital. And in 5th year, we study the clinical research subject and we do some research and we'll forget about these things. But I think today these resource person like showed the path, like how to work on research and all. I think you're gonna start with research. Then it's very difficult to choose the topic for conference. But I know this organizing team of this KLE and Sanat sir know what's the trend now. They know they can understand the trend. So they choose this clinical trial as their topic of the conference. Like then our resource persons from yesterday and today, they showed us that continuous professional education is very important. It's not just single degree is not just enough. So continuous professional education like fellowships or any PG diplomas are very important. So I thank them all. I'll thank all resource persons here. Then, and I have some request for HODs and lectures of pharmacy practice. If there is any clinical trials going on in their district or surrounding their colleges, I request them please allow interns to participate in that research as an observing intern. It's my request. And indirectly, I'm requesting my like my lectures, Dr. Soumya ma'am and Dr. Madhu ma'am, please allow my ma'am. Yeah, my major postings are coming to an end. So in 2 months, I have 6 months more of internship. Please allow us to attend the clinical trials. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you.
I request Dr. Jaydev sir to kindly express his notes.
Good afternoon to one and all. My thought behind this conference is the basic objective of conducting scientific conference is to know what are the different research areas taking place in the different research location site. Okay, by creating a research network within a different research investigators, how we can really contribute to the research welfare is a very important thing. So that is the main intention why we really need to conduct this scientific conference, irrespective of any organization that is where they are organizing it. So, and from my side, it was a wonderful event in the last 2 days. Even I also experienced the different thought from the different research investigators. I thank Principal Vishwanath Swami and his team for organizing in a 2-day wonderful conference, and I hope everyone is enriched with more scientific knowledge. Thank you one and all for giving me to talk a few words in front of you and expressing my thought behind this. Thank you one and all.
This is apart from this curriculum and all these things, see that nowadays the mindset of these students or employees, I am not only talking about students, including any employee works at any sector. If you watch TV, if you are reading a newspaper of any language, you will see that some very bad news. See what is happening here with these young mind and these adults. who are all working at different sector. See that yesterday or day before yesterday, it was happened at Bangalore metro station. Attiguppe, I think, if I am not wrong. A student who committed suicide by jumping into this metro track. See, it's very bad to hear that. Why it is happening? See that I am always speaking on this. One should be very well versed with this managing this adversity cases. How best we can overcome the failures and how best we can manage this tough situations. If you are weak in all these things will be end up with this suicide and all. This should not be happen. See, what about their parents? See, who knows the career of every one of you? See that mentally be strong. Your emotional quotient, your social quotient, your adversity quotient should be strong enough in parallel with only this intelligent quotient. The intelligent quotient is not only important. If you are weak in this adversity quotient, emotional quotient, and this social quotient, if you are not good with friends, if you are not good with neighbors, if you are not so well versed with this managing this failures and all, always you consider yourself failures. You should have ability to turn the failures into success. Then only you will be a successful person. See that, that's why, see, even in the exam, what happens? So the invigilator's responsibility is to watch this. The student should write without speaking to others and should be free from any kind of malpractices. If something happens wrong with this student, then naturally the invigilator will catch hold and the other formalities will be moving on. With that incident, today's mindset of students will turn to this. Something went wrong and it was a use this setback for me and thinking towards this committing the suicide. It's very bad. That's why I'm telling your emotional quotient and adversity quotient should be very strong compared to this intelligent quotient. Please take it forward and be confident and think over this, how best you can overcome your failures and turn these failures into this success. So challenges into opportunities. With these few words, I conclude and I wish every one of you a great success. Once again, thanks to this Kelly family. This is iconic, this a brand education institute. Once again, thanks to every one of you, all the participants, principals of different colleges who supported this event to make it grand success. Once again, my congratulations and heartfelt thanks to this a very useful and effective resource persons from different sector, from SDM Medical College, Pharmacologist Madam, and other two from PharmD postgraduates and who are working different sector, and another very renowned resource person from JSS College of Pharmacy. Because of their sincere effort, we are all learned something from them and it's very useful. Thanks to everyone once again. Thank you one and all.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable feedback.
I would like to call a sponsor, Nagappa sir, Chief Accountant Officer, Hubli Scan Center, to come over the dais and receive a token of appreciation.
Oh my God.
Thank you, sir. Let us take a moment to reflect on the insightful sessions presented in these 2 days. Now I call upon our organizing secretary, Dr. Sanat Kumar Namagowda sir, to provide us the glimpse of yesterday's and today's event.
Good afternoon, everyone. I know it is very late. Tummy is very hungry, including even me. I hope I will take only 2 minutes of your time to go to the video which you have done yesterday. The glimpse of first aid events, we can see it in the video. I request everybody to just go through the video of yesterday's whole program. I request all the dignitaries to go and occupy the seats. All credit goes to my audio and video committee, my dear students, fifth year family, Shumatish, the college dancer, choreographer, and the famous YouTuber of my college, the famous YouTuber of my department, Akil Patel, family fourth year, Om Prakash and team. Thank you so much for having me. Give them a big round of applause to both of them, please. Thank you everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a great pleasure and sense of accomplishment that I stand before you today to summarize the enriching experience we had over past 2 days at the conference on clinical trials designing and implementation. Our journey of conference of clinical trials and designing and implementation started just 10 days back. And I can proudly say that we have completed successfully. Once again, I extend a very warm to all my distinguished speakers, guests, delegates who graced this event with their expertise and insights. We honored to have dignitaries such as our chief guest, Dr. M.S. Ganachari sir, Registrar, KLE Academy of Higher Education Research, Belagavi, Dr. M.G. Hiramad sir, Principal KLE JGMMC Medical College, Hubli, Dr. Radhika Sherkani madam, Professor, Head of the Department of Pharmacology from SDU Medical College, Dharwad, Dr. Umesh Ramduk sir, Professor, Department of Community Medicine from Vijayanagar Medical College, Bagalkot, Dr. B.R. J. Kumar sir, Department of Pharmacy Practice from JSS College of Pharmacy, Mysore, Dr. Mansa C. madam, and Dr. Charushala P.R. madam, amongst us who shared their profound knowledge and experience. Over 2 days, we explored critical topics such as ethics in bioresearch, novel clinical trial designs, sponsors and investigator responsibilities in clinical trials, establishment of clinical trials in the hospital setups, and navigating the evolving trend of clinical trials, which was provided insightful and perspective that we have undoubtedly enriched our understanding these crucial subjects. On day one of the conference on clinical trials designing and implementation, cultural activities were scheduled to provide refreshing break for the delegates and even including me. These cultural events aim to rejuvenate and engage the participants in more relaxed and interactive atmosphere after the insightful oral and poster presentations. In addition to the insightful discussions, we also had an opportunity to witness an impressive oral and poster presentations by budding researchers and students, showcasing the promising future of the clinical research and the research. I want to thank all the oral and poster presentation evaluators who kept us busy in oral and poster presentations, making their time convenient to all of us. I want to thank the principal of IMSR, Dr. Prasad sir, for providing us a venue which ensured the smooth functioning of the event. This 2 days event would not have been success if it was not for kind support of our sponsors like SCG Cancer Hospital Hubli, Medimix, Richfield Pharma, Hubli Scan Center, My Pharmarex, Rio International Agencies, Ahuja Books Company Private Limited, Delhi and Bangalore. I express my gratitude for all your unwavering support. I would like to thank KLE Academy of Higher Education Research, Belagavi for constant support and guiding us in all our academic endeavors. I also thank my guide, my guru, who made me to stand here in front of you, Dr. H. M. Vishwaswamy sir, for their always constant support. A heartfelt appreciation goes to my PharmD 6th year students. I cannot name it. Without them, this conference would not have even imagined. Last, but certainly not least, I extend my heartfelt thanks to all the principals of colleges who sent their students to us, believing in us that we conduct the conference on most renowned being an institute in Karnataka. I thank once again all the different delegates from different state of Karnataka. My sincere thanks to all of you. And I also accept the same in coming future conferences. Thank you so much. As a big farewell, let us forward the learning and connections forward during these 2 days, contributing to the achievement of pharmaceutical drug development and research. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir. As we bring this conference to a close, we extend our heartfelt gratitude to all the dignitaries, members of organizing committee, esteemed faculties, dedicated students, and enthusiastic participants for their invaluable contribution in making this event a resounding success.
Reflecting on the journey we have shared, I'm reminded that a truly exceptional event is not bounded by time. Rather, it is merely paused, living this early, anticipating for the next chapter.
Before we part ways, I invite you all to join us for delectable lunch awaiting for you outside. Let's continue our conversation, forge new connections, and nurture the seeds of ideas planted during the enlightening conference. Once again, thank you for your unwavering support and commitment. Wishing you all safe travels and continued success in your endeavors.
Thank you. I request one representative from the following colleges to meet at the registration center: HSK College, BLDA College, Sharda Villas College of Pharmacy, KLE Belgavi College, Veda College, HKE College of Pharmacy, JGMM College of Pharmacy, SDM College. Please meet at the registration center. Thank you.